We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text, same number.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Hey, good Friday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show here on Nashville Sports Radio. Darren and Justin here with you for the next 2 hours, and we are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio, ready to rock and roll for the next 2 hours. Damon Keene is alongside. We've got another loaded show for you. We'll head down to the Borough in about 15 minutes. We'll talk to the athletic director, Chris Massaro. He will tell us all about the hire of one Derek Mason. We haven't had a chance to catch up with the AD for MTSU, and we'll do that coming up in about 15 minutes. At 3 o'clock, former Michigan running back, former Browns running back, former Ravens. Is that right?
Maybe.
Ravens?
I need to
No,
look it up.
Vikings. Sorry, Vikings.
The Vikings.
Vikings. I don't have it in front
purple,
of me.
Wrong shade of purple.
Vikings running back Leroy Horde. Yeah, Leroy Horde is going to join us. He was playing for the Browns when I was living in Cleveland and covering the Browns before moving to Nashville.
Wow.
He's doing radio down in Miami for WQAM.
The legendary.
So we will talk to Leroy Horde about the Dolphins. That is the team the Titans play on Monday Night Football. Remember, there is a doubleheader on Monday night. Isn't it like the Packers and the Giants, the other game?
I think so.
Packers, Giants, Titans, Dolphins down in South Beach or South Florida.
By the way, Leroy Horde did play for the Ravens as well. So he played for them both. He played for the Ravens.
I think it was a very brief stint.
And for the Vikings, yes.
Played for the
2 games. 2 games for the Ravens.
Right. But he played with the Vikings for seasons. He played for the Browns, I think, for 5 years.
Yes, he played for the Vikings for 3 seasons, the Browns for 5 seasons, yes.
So we'll do that to begin the second hour of the program. 3:40 will be the McFarland 6-pack of picks. Interwoven in all that will be your phone calls, of course, welcomed, as always, at 615-844-5600. You can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. So keep that in mind. And you can listen anywhere in the world as well. I gave you grief on Wednesday in your top 10. You still had the Pittsburgh Steelers. I told you they stink.
Yeah.
And they just got beat by Arizona at home.
Yeah.
Good news is they have the Patriots at home.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get healthy.
Yeah.
And they stunk again.
Yeah.
In fact, I said the words Mitch Trubisky, or if you're mad at him, Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah.
And I think right now a lot of people are mad at him, and they're calling him Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky, the number 2 pick overall back in the day by the Bears, still stinks. He's still horrible.
Yeah.
He's bad. Bad. And I'm not sure what the drop-off is from Kenny Pickett to Mitch Trubisky. It's not much. Steelers got problems.
Well, apparently it's worth at least 3 points, I think, which is the margin they lost by last night.
Justin, they were behind the whole game. They were down 21-3.
Don't do
At the
that.
half.
Don't do that. We all know the Steelers do this, phone booth thing where they come out with 2 and 3 point wins all the time. So let's not pretend like the Steelers come out here and blow people away all the time. That's not what they do.
No.
That's never what they've been doing.
That they don't do.
They come out here and they scrap around and they win games 23-21. They win games 16-14, and we're all trying to figure out, how do they win? Nobody in America watched last night, and everybody's now asking, how did the Steelers win 7 games already looking like that?
It's a great question. I'm asking it.
So
how do you lose to Arizona and the Patriots
They
back-to-back weeks at home
this is why everybody writes them off every year.
in Pittsburgh?
This is why everybody writes them off every year.
And you still have 7 wins?
And
How?
then they'll turn around and be Baltimore next week. I mean,
I'm laughing because I know.
This is what they do.
I know.
I don't know. The madness of Mike Tomlin. I don't know.
They've already gotten that token, and now they've already had that mulligan. They beat Baltimore. I told you at Heinz Field earlier in the year, they had no business winning that game.
They never do.
I
They never do.
No idea how they won. They're not sweeping the Ravens.
That happens all the time. They don't have business winning games, and
I'm declaring it now. They're not sweeping the Ravens.
I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that there's a reason why the franchise hadn't had a losing season in 15 years. That's next to impossible in the National Football League, and they have found ways to do it. So until they don't, they're like I'm at the roulette wheel on black, and it keeps hitting black. So I'm gonna keep betting on black until red pops up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
But what does that mean? You're gonna keep popping. What is black right now? Their losses or what? What is black?
The fact that I'm betting on them to win more games than they lose.
Oh, okay.
Which means if I lean on the Pittsburgh Steelers to win games, cover the spread, whatever it is, they end up winning more times than they don't. So anytime, like if you give me the pick, whatever, the McFarland pick 6, if you give me the Steelers, I'm going to pick the Steelers every time. Even if the Steelers are playing the Chiefs, I'm going to pick the Steelers. Why?
Okay.
Because the Steelers win way more than they lose over the last decade and a half.
You are definitely locked in on history. I'll give you that. You cannot get history out of your head. Look, people, whatever you want to say about Justin, you cannot call him live in the moment, Justin. Okay? Do not do that. That's a mistake. He is about history. And what have you done over the last 3 decades? I don't care about this year. I know what you've done the last 30 years.
Listen, a lot of times now, are there exceptions? Of course there are exceptions. It happens all the time.
What's the exception?
The Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship. The Denver Nuggets win the NBA championship. They've never won the NBA championship before. Then and then how do they pop up and win it? So things do happen.
Mm-hmm.
Things do happen. There's occasional hiccups here and there. But especially in the NFL, those organizations, especially where there's far less turnover in ownership, those organizations kind of tend to be whoever they are, historically. And, that's why I'm against the Lions, really, because the Lions have been owned by the Ford family.
Yeah, the whole time.
The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supposed to believe the Ford family got it together this year?
Well, you just said sometimes things happen, and that's what I've been going off of. You think I'm all in on the Lions because they're smart? They're a great organization?
Yes.
No. How about no? I've watched it just like you.
I mean, maybe.
I've watched it longer than you.
Yes. So, well, here's
I'm in on right now. You said sometimes things happen. I'm in on this. Maybe this something,
and it could be,
is happening with the Lions.
Because listen, yesterday, earlier this week, you mentioned Theo Epstein, and I called him the GOAT. And you didn't push back on that, but you didn't agree with it either. And I understand why. I get it.
Because he erased history. That's why you called him the GOAT.
With not one,
but twice,
but 2 franchises that people thought it was impossible.
Agreed. Well, it was the 2 longest.
The 2 longest franchises in all of baseball.
Drought.
Drought.
World Series drought.
And he went to 2 different organizations and got them rings.
Look, I'm not going to push back on that.
That's so if you get a Theo Epstein in the building, then maybe good things can happen all of a sudden. So how do I know Theo Epstein's not in the building for the Lions? I don't. Maybe he is, and I just don't know it. And then he can prove me wrong. But that's quite a shot, Justin, there.
They still haven't won anything, so.
Oh, I know.
I'm just giving them props for being like in our top 10. That's what I'm doing. We're doing a top 10.
They're good.
It doesn't mean that they're going to win it. It doesn't mean they're going to win a playoff game. It just means this season and last season when they got hot, I'm recognizing that they're different. They're different than all the Lions teams we've seen in our lifetime.
They certainly are.
That's all I was doing.
Speaking of the Lions, hey,
Actually, we both did see. I saw 1991. You saw 1991.
in a way, yeah, we were different ages, but
different
yes,
ages.
I do remember it. Yes. By the way, real quick before we got to get away, is we were speaking of the Lions. I saw a documentary on Amazon called "Bye Bye Barry." It is about the retirement or the sudden retirement of Barry Sanders. And they walked through the whole thing, talked to a lot of people. I liked it a lot.
Is this a bio?
Yes.
So this is
they
real.
talked to Barry. Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah.
This isn't like that.
No, there's no
stupid-
actors. No.
No, I'm saying, the Lakers thing on HBO. What is
Showtime.
it?
No.
It's terrible.
No.
It's
That's
terrible.
not Showtime.
Like,
No.
that's not a bio. That's
This is 30 for 30-esque.
okay. That's what I want to know.
This is a real.
I'm into that stuff.
Yeah, this is a 30 for 30 kind of, not 30
Like
for 30, but 30 for
Showtime?
30 kind of
No,
thing.
I'm out.
No, they talk to Barry. They talk to the people who were there.
Okay.
And make that happen. They talk to Herman Moore.
Is this
they talk,
new?
This is new. This just came out maybe in the last month or so.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
called Bye Bye Barry. It's on Amazon. I recommend it as they finally talk to Barry about why he suddenly just said goodbye.
Okay, don't say. I don't want you, because I'm going to watch this. How
Okay.
long is it?
It was
About an hour and a half?
hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes.
Okay, cool, good to know. And what is it called? Bye Bye Barry
Bye Bye Barry.
on
Amazon.
Amazon,
Yeah.
not Netflix.
Not enough. Well, it could be on Netflix. I just haven't. I know it's on Amazon. That's
Okay.
where I watched it.
Okay, good to know. Congrats to the Predators. They stay red hot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, this team is getting after it. Beat the Lightning last night convincingly, 5-1. Austin Watson, the former Predator, in all kinds of trouble last night. Look, Austin's a great guy. Got to know him really well when he was here. He's been in Ottawa. Honestly, I didn't even know he was with Tampa. I don't even know how that one slipped till last night. I was like, what? And he's wearing 51. But, he got into it with Cole Smith. I get it, Cole Smith after a hit. But that's not why people are angry. He shot a Aaron puck there at the very, very end of the game and popped Lazon. And I got to be honest, like, Austin, I know Austin, he's a tough guy, sticks up for his teammates, but he's a really good guy. He's not one of those sleaze buckets that's out there doing that stuff all the time. And then off the ice, you can see why, because you're around him and you're like, ugh, no wonder you're like that.
Yeah.
No, he's not like that at all.
Yeah.
He's like a super, super nice guy. And we all know his story. It's, it's a look. Former first-round pick by the Predators. Took a long time for him to get in the league. Has battled addiction. Like, he's got all right. He's got a story.
Got
to
a full
him.
story to tell.
He does. But he's a good dude. And I was a little surprised and a little disappointed he chucked that puck and popped Lazon at the end of the game because it was not necessary. It was 5-1. The game was over. And I know that I guess the reports are, I guess he's tried to reach out to Lazon to make sure he's all right. And I'm not surprised by that, but I'm disappointed that he did it in the first place because that was just so unnecessary. If it was Corey Perry, if it was, I don't need to list. I could go down a list of people. If it were them, I'd be like, oh, well, consider the source, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Austin Watson. So disappointed on that.
Well,
but congratulations to the Preds. You've won 9 out of the last 11, man. They're on fire.
highly impressive. And UC Soros
Is on fire.
is on fire.
Phil Forsberg is on fire.
I mean, in Fuego. 32, I think it was 34, 32 saves last night again for him. An outstanding performance. And listen, if they can get Bridgestone Arena to be home ice advantage extraordinaire, then that's another huge thing to have in your pocket. Not that that place, when it's rocking, as you well know better than most, is absolutely electric. And to have that in your favor come the spring and summer, if we get that far there with playoff time, is something that is wonderful. And to have these kind of wins there at home in that building, there's nothing like feeling like you can't lose in your building. There's nothing like that. And the more you win in your building, the more confidence you build in your building.
I'd like to say I've been there for every big moment, big crowd moment in Predators franchise history from day one to and look, I don't know this, Justin. I hope we find out. I don't know. It's like the Titans, right? In the Music City Miracle in the first couple of years. I don't know if they'll ever be able to recreate the stadium. We've talked about this, right? The Titans. I don't know if the Predators will ever be able to recreate the glory days of that building, right? Of how loud the crazy run the year after. I mean, there's been some magical I don't know. I'd like to find out. I'd like to find out on the Titans end. I'd like to know. Can they recreate? I don't know if it can happen at Nissan. Maybe the new stadium creates that. Maybe the prices don't allow it to create that because it's all going to be basically white-collar people, right? People in suits or, collared shirts.
Yeah.
Because of the prices. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever be able to recreate in this market things that have already happened at buildings or barns. I hope so, but I don't know. We'll come back. Let's head to the borough. Let's go to 107.9 territory. Let's check in with Chris Massaro, the athletics director at MTSU. Let's do that next.
And now, Tennessee Heat and Air is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by Tennessee Heat and Air. For all your residential or commercial heating and air repairs, maintenance, and installations, give the pros a call today at 615-856-3610. 615-856-3610. That's Tennessee Heat and Air, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
Want even more excitement on game day? It's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you could win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code primetime for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full-body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full-body treatment or even a couple's massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mocara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mocara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
This is something I wish I'd known. Many people who live in Tennessee are eligible for help paying for healthy food for pregnant and new moms, their babies, and young children, but don't realize it. Family income can be higher than you think. There's a website called TennesseeMeals.com for more information. Assistance for healthy food for expectant moms and young children. This information I need to share. TennesseeMeals.com.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Justice Center, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and
The Jim Rome Show.
Man, I love Facebook. That's not in any way a time suck. It is such a valuable use of your time, going on everybody else's page and posting how beautiful they look when they don't. They don't. You know they don't. Come on. Anyway, do what you want with your time. I don't want you to tell me how to spend my time. I won't tell you how to spend your time, but I will tell you this. Stop cropping out pictures and including yourself and then acting like, hey, my hair looked great that day. My makeup was perfect that day. Just do what I tell you. With regards to this, you'll be fine.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio. You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Rolling along on this Friday afternoon, Darren and Justin here with you. We're live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. Don't forget, every day during our showtime, 2 to 4, you can watch the show also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Justin gets dressed up more than I do, but, you just never know what we're going to be rocking. We may wave at you. Justin will salute you. You just never know if you're watching. Of course, you can always just listen. You can listen, by the way, down in Rutherford County on 107.9. Let's head down to the borough. Let's bring in MTSU Athletics Director Chris Massaro. Chris, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Have you gotten some sleep since Tuesday?
Not really. But that's okay. Now it's all kind of making sure he gets off to a good start and all of those things. So what I do like, Darren, is, instead of being in the spotlight shifts to him, where I like the spotlight on coaches, not on us bureaucrats.
Bureaucrats. So are you uncomfortable with that whole setting on Tuesday? Like you personally, like getting up there and these big pressers. So you're uncomfortable with that?
I'm not uncomfortable, but it's, I prefer kind of I'm more quiet and low key. So I prefer kind of the one-on-one. I really enjoy one-on-one relationships, and particularly with our coaches, and I think they tell you the same thing. And I think I'm much more impactful and effective in a one-on-one setting than I am speaking to 300 people.
Did you think this hire was realistic when you decided to move on from Rick Stockstill after 18 seasons? Did you think, because I know you were asked, because I was there, you were asked, and it's a good question, because I was going to ask you, look, if you make a move like this, you obviously have, I believe, ADs always have plan Bs in their back pocket if they're going to move on, especially from a guy that's been there for almost 2 decades. But did you think when this decision was made on your end that a guy like Derek, did you think Derek Mason was realistic, or was it just hopeful? Like, take us through that.
Yeah, and I think the answer is yes, because I believe in this job, and I believe in kind of its future. And so if you can sell that, then you have a chance. And these people kind of fall in all kinds of different categories, and there's risks almost with everybody involved, but like kind of who's aspirational on your list, who is realistic, and then who would maybe climb over glass to get the job. And the one thing that when you go into these things, Darren, that you don't want to do is hire somebody you kind of have to beg to take the job, or you have to convince that it's a good job. So in our initial conversation, it was readily apparent that Coach Mason was all in and he wanted the job. I didn't want to be in a position where I'm trying to convince somebody about our potential. And so that was really evident once we talked. It was great.
It is my belief, one of the reasons, just one of the reasons, and I don't know where it is on the list, that he wanted the job and wanted to be a coach again is because he dabbled in media. That's probably right. We're in back to coaching. That's just my opinion.
But we found out that's a much more difficult job, and this coaching stuff's easy.
Yeah, I don't think that's it, but.
And there's probably a lot more competition with people like you, taking up airtime and stuff, and so there's not much room in that, and you can make your mark in college football coaching because that's going to turn over more.
Yeah, I think he made the right decision. I think he definitely made the right decision.
But honestly, and I kid a little bit, but that was also a nice factor for us, is and for me to be able to watch those games that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly before we're even in a search, and you go, hey, this guy, that makes, so you watch him from afar at Vanderbilt, then you watch him from afar, with his television duties and those kind of things, and it's like, hey, this guy is really good. So yeah, that part does play a factor, and he's still got 2 bowl games to do with his ESPN contract, so I kind of like that idea of he'll be broadcasting on national television, representing MTSU as their head coach.
Yeah, good point. So he said on Tuesday that yourself and Dr. McPhee played a factor in, I guess, getting him excited and really going for it? Because, as he said, he's a competitor. Once he decided he's going for this, I'm in it to win it. So has he conveyed to you, what do you think were some of the things on your all's end, on the MTSU side of things, that you guys were putting or saying to him that got him ramped up and excited for this opportunity?
Yeah, and I think kind of going more depth on our facility project, I think he liked the fact that I recognize that maybe administratively there were some holes in our program that not the coaching staff, the previous coaching staff's fault, but that maybe we needed to take hard looks at other areas and how we, like nutrition and NIL and some of those things. So I think that willingness to take a hard look at our program, and that old saying that if the tire's flat, you don't fix it by changing the driver. You got to actually get out there and fix the flat. So and then the other thing is that this program has good bones to it, as he to use the terminology he does, that he's going to inherit a team that knows how to work. Coach Stock kept this team up until the very last snap. I mean, they never strayed, so they know, and we've won some games, so they know what a winning locker room looks like. They know how hard it is to work. They know what a relationship with a coach should be. So all of that stuff that he can inherit. So he's not inheriting an 0-12 type program where it's a total rebuild. We're just at one base camp on this mountain and would like to get to the summit. And I think he's our guy. He's our guy that can get us there. And I think that attracted him as well.
Athletics director at MTSU, Chris Massaro, on the line with us. He was asked several times, and hopefully we'll get him on next week. I know he's really, really busy right now, and we understand that. If about getting people back to the stadium, getting people back to the games, and I've got a lot of MTSU friends who are alumni. I mean, a lot. I hear from them all the time. There's no secret that it's tough. And look, he had another job in Vanderbilt that was tough to get people to come to games. So he should be well versed on the challenges of getting people in a stadium. But obviously, Chris, you guys had to have talked about this, and I'm talking about you guys as in at MTSU. How do you tackle that? So what is the feedback? Do you feel confident? Like, everybody's excited right now, and ultimately it's about winning games, but also there is more to it than just that. Are you guys confident in what you guys have discussed and heard from feedback that will change with him, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, first of all, he's a big piece of that, and the head football coach is the point of the spear. But, and this is one of the areas that I want to offer close examination on, what can we do better to connect to our public? Like, I want our fans and alumni to say, that's my team. That's not MTSU's team, but we're all in this together. And so that kind of connection needs to take place, and I'm not sure we've had that the last few years. So this is our team. That we can't win these games or accomplish these goals without our fans' participation, and help understand the critical role that they play. So that's number one. Number two is that this gives us a chance to kind of rebrand or reimage our entire football program. And we can't let this slip away on us. We can't let that opportunity go. So there will be heavy emphasis on that in the winter, spring, summer, all those kind of things, that how people can help. Coach Ensel does a great job here in terms of soliciting fans and making them feel like we can't win this game. Like, we can't beat Tennessee and Huntsville unless you go to Huntsville and help us. And then to thank them afterwards as well. And just to do more of that, not to say that's not been done, but to do more of it and forge deeper connections. I think that all starts, but it's him, his staff, It's our athletic communication staff. It's our marketing staff. It's our university marketing staff. This is a really collective effort, and it just doesn't fall on one person's shoulders, and so I need to do a better job, and we need to do a better job of laying out a well-thought-out plan and attack of how we're going to accomplish that. And so we've got a meeting next Tuesday with our university marketing people, the marketing people inside our athletic department. That's exactly the topic of what we're going to talk about.
I've got several questions, but I want to continue on that theme since this is where we are in the conversation, sir. Playing games on Tuesday and Wednesday night, what has that been like for you as far as attendance and game day atmosphere and all of that, playing games in the middle of the week?
Yeah, and and we knew that going in, that there's a give and take to everything, and so we can talk about its positives and we can talk about its negatives. But the reality is we're going to play on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights for as long as this TV contract is, and so that's, to me, is a real positive. And I firmly believe this, that there's an audience out there that likes that, and we can attract it. Number one, it gives us clean air. It doesn't force people to choose between watching Tennessee or go to Knoxville on game days as opposed to watching the Blue Raiders. So we take that off the table. We get clean air. So people with dual allegiances and those kind of things, they can do both in the same week. What a great football week. And so we need to take advantage of that. Number two is and I'll cite my car dealer, City Auto, as an example. They like those weeknight games because Saturday's their busiest day, and they can't necessarily pull away for a Saturday ball game. So there are people that are in the workforce that this game means. It gives them weeknight games, gives them much more of an opportunity to come. And then thirdly, and you can look over the course of our history here of these midweek games, is our students. Our students love it, and we draw probably twice as many on the weeknight game student body as we do on the weekends. We've got a student body that largely has to have jobs to help pay for school and those kind of things, and a lot of those jobs are on the weekends. And so those nights offer a larger segment of our student body a chance to come to our games. So I'm excited about it. I think this year we learned a lot as a staff, and some of those lessons, and that's part of how do we attack that? How do we take these as brand new opportunities and make it shine? Because we know that for some people it's more inconvenient than a Saturday. We know that, and we know that maybe the tailgating gets more restricted on those weeknights. We know that. So how do we take those kind of issues that are very real and kind of mitigate those with other possibilities and routes that we can market to?
I want to ask you about Derek Mason's record at Vanderbilt. And I know the answer to this question, but I need you to address it, sir, because you're the one who ultimately made the decision. And I'm going to read this directly from a good friend of mine who is a former MTSU student. I don't know if he was an exact graduate, but he's a former MTSU student for sure. He says, wasn't this the same guy at Vanderbilt? I don't remember him winning a whole lot of games there, so why him? There is a stigma around Derek Mason, as you well know, sir, that has this 27-55 record at Vanderbilt. So a lot of people don't feel like he is a winning type of coach. So what do you say to those fans who believe that Derek Mason doesn't have a winning resume in order to lead a football team?
Well, first of all, I think that anybody would recognize that the Vanderbilt job offers unique challenges in the most difficult league in the country. Okay, so let's start there.
Yes, sir.
And let's look at their school history of success in football, particularly the last 40 years, and let's look there. And then let's look a little bit behind the scenes of how those records went. So his first year that he's dealing with the rape case and the court trial of it, that's hardly a platform that you can launch from. I mean, that impacts your whole locker room. And so, and I think if you talk to Derek, he'd admit that maybe he didn't have the right staff to go through that. And then you look at, he had some great wins, so there were moments, glorious moments that he had at Vanderbilt. And so how does that happen? And then, 2 bowl games, those kind of things. And then, so you look at all that, and I think almost as important as I did the evaluation, and people are always welcome to disagree, but as I did my evaluation is that I was impressed with what he did post-Vanderbilt. So if the knock on him at Vanderbilt was his offense, so he goes to Auburn and works for Brian Harsin, who, and I know it didn't work at Auburn as the head coach, but he's regarded as one of the best offensive minds that we have. And then the next year he goes off and he works under Mike Gundy.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at that kind of a learning curve that he could inherit with Mike Gundy. And then what really attracted me was what he did with this year, his quote unquote, his sabbatical year. And to be able to get behind closed doors with coaches, be active, try to add to your personal knowledge. So his quest for knowledge is still there. It's still there. And, the one comparison that I kind of made in my mind is you look at Mike Loxley, what he did at New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Really difficult place to win. And then he goes to Maryland, and they've had their moments. They've been competitive in the Big Ten,
yes, sir.
And he elevated their program. So that's what I do. And then you try to project, does he bring those qualities that we seek as a head coach to help our program? Is there an element of toughness? Is there an element of engagement? How will he relate to his players? I like the fact that, like today, he and his staff are visiting, I think, like 50 high schools in the mid-state, and the fact that he doesn't have to GPS where the high schools are. He already knows them. So he kind of knows a lot of the territory, and he knows what Middle Tennessee's like. So we've got those advantages as well. So I certainly understand that criticism, but I would want our fans to know that we looked at that, we gauged it, we studied it, and so I think that and Derek was great in the interviews. That's why you interview people, to see what's happened and all those kind of things and what lessons get learned. And he passed that all with flying colors. So I understand it, but also these people haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to him. And I would just say, just sit and watch. Just before you judge, if you feel that way, just watch what he does the next few months, and not make an off-the-cuff evaluation on one statistic.
One last question from me, sir, and that is, you mentioned why you separated from Coach Stockstill, and the conference record was a big part of your statement about what you said about why you decided to move on from him. And the football team went to 10 bowl games in 18 seasons under Coach, but the conference wins and conference championships were not there. How do you gauge success is what I'm really asking here, sir. Is it the amount of bowls you're able to go to, a New Orleans Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl, the Bahamas Bowl? You went to a lot of nice high-profile bowls for your university, but the conference wins weren't there. So how do you gauge success?
Well, let me be really clear on this. The conference wins were there. What I referenced was the last 5 years we were below 500. So if you look over Coach Stock's 18 years, we had a really good conference record. So,
but you switched conference, though, in the middle, though, sir.
Pardon me?
You switched conference in the middle, did you not? Went from the Sun Belt to the Conference USA? Okay.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
No, sir. No. I was just making the reference. I understand, sir. I'm sorry. I interrupted. I apologize, sir.
No, what I was saying is that his record was good. In the last 5 years, we've had a tail off. And so where is that, and can we regenerate the momentum that we once had? So to answer your question, I gauge all those things in terms of success. Coach Stock, we went to 10 bowl games. I mean, we went to 0 prior to his arrival. That we won an Eastern Division championship in Conference USA, I think in 2018. We shared for a title like in 2006 or 2007. So, like I said, we were at a good base camp. If you're summiting that mountain, but we were, I don't want to say stuck there, but we were there. And then the primary gauge that I use in all of our sports is your conference record. And to be in the conference and where we've been, and not necessarily Vanderbilt was in the SEC, but where we are, whether it's Conference USA or Sun Belt, those are peer institutions. We don't have a tremendous budget disadvantage. We don't have a tremendous facility disadvantage that maybe others do in other conferences. We are as good as anybody in the Sun Belt Conference, and I think we should be as good as anybody in the Conference USA. And all of our other sports prove that. So that's how I gauge success. And also the academic piece can't be forgotten. And Coach Stock did a phenomenal job there, and we want that to continue going forward.
I know you referenced it earlier in the interview, but again, congrats on the win for Coach Enzel and the Lady Blue Raiders. That was amazing down in Huntsville.
Yeah, I'm hoping this will go down as one of the great days of Middle Tennessee history, is that we hired a tremendously successful coach, and also that was the day we beat Tennessee women, and so it was great. And Huntsville did a great job of putting on a great show. Our fans came out and supported it, and we probably had 2/3 or 3/4 of that arena, and so it was exciting and it was a lot of fun. So, and I think Tennessee, that's a 4-game series. So one in Huntsville, one in Knoxville, back to Murfreesboro, back to Knoxville. So I thank Kelly for having the guts to play us and doing something good for in-state basketball and the women's sport.
That's a great 4 was that 4 years, right? Yeah, that's fantastic.
4 years. It's a 4-year series. So thanks to Tennessee for doing that, and Kelly for doing that.
Chris, we appreciate your time. Good
Thank you,
stuff.
sir.
Thanks for doing this. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right. Thanks, guys.
MTSU Athletics Director Chris Massaro, we appreciate him joining us. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. We're wide open the rest of the hour if you want to get involved. You're listening to The McFarland Show.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the Callaway Paradigm Woods, forged carbon for unparalleled distance and forgiveness. Now up to $100 off. And from Bushnell, the new Tour B6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home with a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Michael Fabiano here, and if you want even more excitement on game day, it's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
I'm not surprised, and I think Kevin Byard gets it.
Producer Debbie is not happy.
Well, she shouldn't be when they ran off Jeff Fisher. That no one was happy about that because everybody loved him. It was all business. He's due $14 million next year, okay? Not going to be on the roster next year. Get something for him.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good. With a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Indeed you are. Appreciate Chris Massaro for joining us. Leroy Horde will join us, former running back at Michigan. Former running back of the Cleveland Browns, former running back of the Minnesota Vikings. He's now doing radio down in Miami, WQAM. We'll talk about the Dolphins coming up at 3 o'clock. McFarland's six-pack of picks at about 3:40. 615-844-5600. Let's go to Columbia. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? Great interview. Sounded like Chris Massaro was going to come off the top rope at Justin.
We can maybe we can do something for charity. Get these two in a ring.
I have no desire to do any violence towards Mr. Massaro in
But
any
I'm not
way.
sure what weight category, Justin's in now that he's lost half of a Justin.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah,
okay. It's okay.
Justin, your question got to him a little bit there.
Listen, we're just talking about the issues at hand here.
So, yeah, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about. It's great that, they're getting students and more fans coming to the games during the week. It's just because we have been kind of seriously thinking about getting season tickets, but because we do live in Columbia and it's kind of a drive to get to Murfreesboro, and yes, it's a drive to get to Nashville for Preds games, but it's a little different going to a hockey game than going to a football game, because I would want to tailgate at the football games, and that was kind of the reason why I wanted to get season tickets. But I don't know, I'm kind of, I guess, below 50% now on getting season tickets for MTSU, just because I don't want to have to pay for those weekday games that I probably wouldn't go to. So, I mean, I was just calling to give my opinion.
Do you go to weekday Preds games?
Yeah, but that's different. I don't plan to tailgate at Preds games.
Okay.
And
so you're saying it's less of a time commitment than Nate? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for me at least.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But, okay, and Darren, let me ask you this. I've been discussing it, and discussing it is very light term for what me and a coworker have been talking about with the Watson incident with Lausanne.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Watson has sometimes not done great things on the ice. But, I mean, I kind of give him a pass a little bit just because, like you were saying, he's a great person. And it wasn't intentional. And I kind of at least have to put this a little bit on Lazon. And I understand he was standing right there. But, I mean, what do you think about, Crispy staying head on a swivel at all times?
I don't know what you're supposed to do. I mean, his head was on a swivel. He knew it was coming. He couldn't get out of the way. He jumped up. I'm disappointed because the game is, it's 5-1. The game is over. There's no need for Austin to do that. There was no point in doing that. None. And so that's what I'm disappointed about. Like, there's no reason for him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know. Frustration sometimes gets the best of you, and I can see why he did it. So it's almost like where you're standing right next to the boards, and where the player throws the puck into the boards in frustration. It's just that he put it, I guess, in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it could have been avoided. I still like Austin. I think he's a great guy. And I'm glad he's still in the league, but I was disappointed last night.
Yeah, me too. But, all right, guys, y'all enjoy Army-Navy tomorrow. Love that game. Can't wait to eventually go to that game some point in my life.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Nate. We'll step away. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap up the first hour next.
Just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Jackson Boone Racing. The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series Championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing. A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Pacheco is out for the Chiefs against the Bills on Sunday with a shoulder injury. Coming off a good big game rushing last week, so they'll be without their number one running back. Browns not ready to name a starting quarterback just yet. It's between Flacco and DTR or Dorial Green Beckham, whatever his name is.
I don't think it's Dorial Green Beckham. I'm pretty sure it's not him.
The Jags are waiting until Sunday on whether Trevor Lawrence will play or not.
I don't think he will.
I don't know, man.
I think it's smart for him not to play. It's not going to get any better, with him out there. I'm not sure if it can get worse, but certainly not going to get any better. And you need him for the playoff run, But we'll see. I mean, they got to make their own decisions down there.
Mike McCarthy said he feels good after his surgery. I guess he's going to coach on Sunday against the Eagles, so we'll see.
He needs to.
Yeah, big game. All right, that's going to do it for hour number one. We'll head down to Miami, talk to Leroy Horde. We'll do that next here on the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
.560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The UN Security Council is meeting and debating today a ceasefire resolution between Israel and Hamas due to a humanitarian crisis and civilian deaths in Gaza. During a briefing on Air Force One today, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is calling on Congress again to continue talks to help pass a supplemental aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan before the end of the year. Republicans want to tie funding to U.S. border security.
Senate Republicans need to stop playing chicken with our national security. That's what they need to stop doing.
In France, 6 teens were convicted today in juvenile court for their roles in the beheading of a teacher by an Islamic extremist in 2021. The teacher, Samuel Paty, was killed outside the school after having a debate on free expression in class, showing cartoons depicting the Prophet of Islam. Gas Buddy says the average price for a gallon has dropped to $2.99, the first time gas prices have dipped below $3 since 2021. This is ABC News.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Prince's Hot Chicken. The Tango Mall has everybody talking about it, including the head basketball coach at TSU, Brian Penny Collins.
I went to Whites Creek High School. Before every game, we went to Prince's Chicken on Dickerson Road. Every single game. And it's the best. It's a staple in Nashville. And it just takes me all the way back.
Prince's Chickens, from tenders to whole wings. They got baked beans, collard greens, and delicious desserts. It's all at Prince's Hot Chicken. Heat and flavor. Prince's is the original home of hot chicken worldwide. Check us out at the downtown location right across from Bridgestone Arena in the Full Assembly Hall, South Nashville location on Nolensville Road, and the new Tango Outlet Mall in Antioch. Interested in working in a great environment with great hourly wages? Please submit a resume to Prince's Hot Chicken, AFH@gmail.com, or fill out an application on the Prince's Hot Chicken website. That's princeshotchicken.com, and then click on Join Our Team, princeshotchicken.com. Prince's Hot Chicken, proud sponsor of WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Listen,
You can't handle the truth.
it's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour on this Friday afternoon. We're live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. 615-844-5600. Don't forget, before we get out of here, we'll have our McFarland six-pack of picks, which will include this game we're going to talk about now.
Okay.
Monday Night Football. Dolphins hosting the Titans. Let's head down to Miami, WQAM. Former Browns and Vikings running back, former Michigan running back, Leroy Horde. This guy was playing for the Browns when I was living in Cleveland and covering the Browns at the old Municipal Stadium, Justin. Let me tell you, this time of year, that was the coldest place on earth. I haven't been to Antarctica, but it was the coldest place on earth.
A lot of passion there, though.
Yeah. Leroy, how we doing?
Not the coldest place on earth. I played in Minnesota, and I got there in November, and the first 30 days, 25 of those days, the temperature never got above 0.
Yeah, but you got to cheat in Minnesota. You played in a dome.
I had to walk to that damn dome.
I'm going to say, he still had to go to the car.
Well, you had to play basically in the lake in Cleveland, and it was cold.
When it would snow for no damn reason whatsoever.
Leroy, I lived 1 year and 1 year only in Willowick, Ohio,
Okay.
right on the lake. And let me tell you, I got out of there as quick as I could because it could dump 16 inches on you. I'd call my mom, living about 15 minutes away, and she's like, yeah, we got about an inch or two. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I got to get off this lake. Got to get off the lake.
Yeah, that's it.
So this Dolphin, by the way, real quick, since you went to Michigan, I know Miami. I've been to Miami. I haven't lived there. Been there many, many times, covered Super Bowls and blah, blah, blah. I know the market. How much do you guys discuss college football, and what did you think of the 4 teams they got in? Obviously leaving Michigan out because I know you're biased.
Here's the problem I have with it, right?
Okay.
The great thing about sports is you play the game because anything can happen. If you've been around sports long enough, you've seen the impossible. I've seen Michigan lose to Appalachian State. I was a member of the Minnesota Vikings when we were 15-1 as a double-digit favorite, and we lost to Atlanta. Okay? It bothers me to no end that a committee, a group of people sitting around the table, says Florida State can't win because their starting quarterback is out.
Yeah.
That's not sports. That's not sports. We see it all the time. And so for them to take sports out of this decision, it really is. And I'm not a Florida State fan, and my team was already in, right? But you're going to be hard-pressed to be able to come and explain to me how, if Florida State beats Georgia, how an undefeated Power 5 team wasn't even in the Final Four.
Yep.
And if they win, you're going to say, maybe they really did have a chance.
I get it. That had to have been
an absolute joke.
Yeah, that had to have been a cold room for Mike Norvell and those players whenever that news.
What do you tell a kid? is.
I don't know.
You know what? What about Kurt Warner? Jeff Hostetler? What about those guys? They were backups. They won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should we just fold up? Oh, no, Trent Green got hurt. The Rams are done. That's not what sports is. And for a bunch of men to sit in a room and eliminate the competition and sport aspect of a team sport is a joke.
We would appreciate it sitting here in Nashville if you didn't bring up any more Kurt Warner references. It still stings. Still too soon.
We still having some problems.
Still soon.
Still having some. I can close my eyes. I can see he's almost there, Leroy. He's almost.
Oh, wait a minute.
He almost reached it. He almost got. He got one more yard, Leroy. He can.
You know what's funny? As the years went by, those 3 yards became 2 inches.
Yes, sir. You're right. You're right.
There's we've actually said that.
And the pass in Buffalo is still forward, you know.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, how good is this Miami team? Good enough to win it all?
Yes. For this reason. The defense has picked it up. Everybody's concentrating on the offense, but ever since Jalen Ramsey got back, they've been able to play a different style of defense. Man up, come after you. They cause pressure. They getting turnovers. They're locking guys down in the secondary. And so I would say you know what you're going to get offensively. It's the defense that has picked it up in the last month. And I think that's the surprise of everybody. Not necessarily the surprise, but people that look at the Dolphins and look at that offense are failing to realize and understand how far along that defense has come from the beginning of the year.
Nashville's own Jalen Ramsey, by the way. How much does losing Phillips for the season hurt them on defense?
It does hurt some because he was having his best year. But I got to tell you, Van Ginkel, right? When he replaced him earlier in the year, was balling to the point where when Jalen Phillips came back, they couldn't take Van Ginkel off the field. And so he's been making plays. In fact, last week he had a pick six. He is the guy that they used to replace him. And he has been having himself a hell of a year also. So you're going to lose some depth. You're probably going to lose Jalen Phillips is dominant out there. But I do think you have a viable player to come in and kind of not lose too much.
Want to ask you from your position, being the running back in the era that you played, about Derrick Henry and what you see, what makes him great? Because I can watch it, but I didn't play 10 years in the NFL. What makes Derrick Henry so incredible at what he does?
Just imagine Gronk running a 4.4. That's what it is, right?
Yes, sir.
A souped up bus. A bus that goes 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Like it, at his size, to be that explosive is in itself. You had big guys who could run the football. You had big guys who were shifty. But to be that dominant, the way that he's been consistently, year after year after year, that doesn't normally happen. I mean, we've had big bruisers. When you look at somebody, think about Christian Okoye.
Yes, sir.
How short his career was.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because, everybody, you had to game tackle him. He was getting hit 3, 4, 5 times on every play. It wears on you. But the fact that he is still delivering pain and still able to run away from people at that size. I mean, you watch him run, it doesn't really look like he's moving that fast, and then nobody catches him. It's amazing. He is a unique individual to play running back. He is, because he doesn't fit what we think of a running back. Stocky, shifty. You know what I mean? If he played back in our day, they say, "Oh, he runs too upright. Oh, he's gonna get hit." He is something special.
I want to ask you about some running backs in your era, or at least around your neighborhood, and the Hall of Fame discussion that we have around here. And I want to bring up three guys in particular that you may recognize who are not in the Hall of Fame. Corey Dillon at 11,241, Fred Taylor at 11,695, and just because we're broadcasting live from Nashville, Eddie George, of course, with 10,441. These guys are not in the Hall of Fame. There seems to be a log jam sort of at that, around the 11 to 12,000 yard mark. Darren and I watched a lot of Fred Taylor because, they played division games here in Nashville. We saw him up close. We saw Corey Dillon up close back in the day when they played division games here. These guys, to me, just my eyeballs, are no question. These guys are some of they're the best I've ever seen as far as that position is concerned. You played the position. What is your evaluation of how we appreciate running backs of that era moving into this era, and where we are as far as appreciation of those guys?
Well, Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame, because you can't talk about anybody on that Jaguars team at that time without talking about Fred Taylor. And that in itself makes him a Hall of Famer, right? Eddie George was Derrick Henry. Not as fast, but same size and just a big physical guy, right? A guy that, every night, every time you played him, you buckle your chin strap, put your mouthpiece in, and it was going to be a physical game. Corey Dillon is a different one, because as many yards as he accumulated, right? If I say Eddie George or I say Fred Taylor, your eyes light up and you remember him right away. But if I say Corey Dillon, you say, "Whoa, he had that much production?" Right? So it's a different, is he just as worthy as the other guys? Absolutely. But when you talk about the other guys and you talk about their teams, it's very easy to include them in the success of their team.
I see what you're saying.
And it wasn't necessarily the case with Corey Dillon. Didn't he win a Super Bowl with New England?
2004, 5, and 6. Yeah, he was on one of those teams. Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah.
And make no mistake about it, Leroy, we remember him because it was Tennessee Oilers / Titans.
Boy.
He carved them up several times.
Yeah.
That's the reason we remember him so much.
He did 200
200-yard nights.
Right. And that's, I understand that. But you see where I'm getting at. Like the other guys, when you mention their names, you have a different kind of thought of their career than you do with Corey Dillon, even though the numbers are the same. Not fair to Corey Dillon, but that's just kind of how that works, how that presents itself. I don't know if anybody nowadays will even get the carry to accumulate those yards.
Yeah.
And so what's going to end up happening is that when you start looking at running backs, now running backs, you got to start including total yards, how many catches, how many receiving, which, is a joke, because I'll give you another name that should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. Eric Metcalf.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
But he was return guy. He was return guy, special team. Yeah. He did everything.
Eric Metcalf has 17,000 plus total yards in the NFL. Right? Think about that.
Yes, sir.
17,000 yards. And not even nothing. So what do you see? Because they put a position on him.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't just be a great NFL football player.
I want to ask you about playing in Michigan and then turning around and playing in Cleveland, Ohio. How did that go? I don't have to explain. I don't have to ask nothing else. Just how did that go?
My first day there, when they do the interview for the draft and all that, and they asked me a question, and I say, well, I want to start by apologizing. No hard feelings, right? They go, what do you mean? I said, if it wasn't for Ohio State, I wouldn't be here.
Shots fired.
You need to understand. It'll never stop. I was like, before I knew anything about Ohio, I was a Wolverine. So I tell them, I love Cleveland. I love playing in Cleveland. I love the fans in Cleveland. Everything, right? But that first Saturday after Thanksgiving, we ain't friends. you get it. Yeah, okay, I'll talk to you on Sunday. The following Monday, we'll go back. But that Saturday after Thanksgiving, no. And that's the way it should be. I expect nothing different from Ohio.
That's amazing that you started off your career. I forgot that you said that.
Yeah.
Last thing, Leroy. So how do you think this is going to play out? And what is the goal down there? I'm watching the Hard Knocks, the in-season Hard Knocks on the Dolphins. So I'm just listening to what Mike McDaniels is saying in those episodes. I don't know what he's saying on a daily basis to you guys, but what is the goal down there? Are they trying to get the 1 seed? I mean, what are they talking about down there for the rest of the regular season?
All they're talking about is Tennessee getting better and improving on last week, this week, which is good to hear, right? Like they're, what they talk about is, hey guys, we were 8-3 last year and lost 5 in a row, right? So let's just concentrate on this week. Let's do all of our work on Tennessee and get ready to play a good game this week, because you can only win 1 game a week. And that's what the message has been all year. Whether they win big or lose big, they celebrate it, and then they get ready for the following week. But
we lose him?
Leroy, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay, you went away. You're back.
We got you, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
I would say that Mike McDaniel has instilled in all these guys the confidence to want to go out to practice and work and want to get better every week. And that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about, okay, what does this win mean? What is, now we got 9 wins. Because he'll say, and he's said this over and over again, you ain't getting in the playoffs with 9 wins. So why are we celebrating it?
Leroy, really appreciate it. Thanks for doing this. Great to catch up.
Thank you, sir.
With you again,
right.
And we'll do it again down the road.
Definitely. Have a good one, guys.
All right. That is former running back at Leroy Horde. That was really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I think he was in lockstep with us about Fred Taylor.
It sounds like
and
it.
Eddie George, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Those are and Corey Dillon. That's interesting perspective, right? Because
from a guy who played in the same era,
yeah.
Like he played in the '90s along with them.
And I think if we were ranking them, that's what we would have done, right? Eddie and Fred Taylor, no particular order, 1 and 2, and Corey Dillon 3rd. If we were ranking them,
probably,
right?
Yeah.
So, interesting stuff from Leroy Horde. All right, we'll come back. We're wide open the rest of the hour. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us as you listen to the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Do you want to work at the OG of hot chicken, Princess Hot Chicken Tanger, Outlet Mall, 4060 Cane Ridge Parkway, Suite 102 in Antioch? Princess is looking for fun, energetic, and friendly smiling faces as food runners and cashiers. They're also looking to create an amazing culinary team to carry on the Princess tradition. Interested in working in a great environment with great hourly wages? Submit a resume to princesshotchickenafh@gmail.com or fill out an application on the Princess Hot Chicken website. That's princesshotchicken.com. princesshotchicken.com.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win, FanDuel of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
'Tis the season for all of my favorite treats. Now, where are Grandma's homemade holiday cookies? Hold up. Where are Grandma's cookies?
Easy, Joe. Grandma brought something even sweeter this season.
Your triple fudge brownies?
No, Joey. Holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery.
Made from scratch holiday wins? Grandma, you're a genius.
Give the gift of holiday instant games topped with sweet cash prizes. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Oh, what game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I believe this franchise right now, unfortunately, is paying for the sins of a lot of bad draft picks and bad signings. And only dodge that for so long. When you think about going back-to-back years with your first-round pick and get nothing, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. It just
The
is.
McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
McFarland's six-pack of picks coming up in about 15 minutes. Good stuff from Leroy Horde. Back here on the McFarland Show. We're live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. We get geared up for another big sports weekend. The Predators will be on the road up in Canada. No college football games other than the big one, Army-Navy.
Yeah.
Would love to go to that one day. Heisman Trophy will be awarded Saturday night. And then a really good slate of NFL games this weekend. And, of course, the Titans will have to wait till Monday night to get their game. Titans and Dolphins. 615-844-5600. Let's go to Eric. Eric, what's up?
Hey, guys, and you were talking about NFL games. I think starting next weekend you'll have a few Saturday games on, I think, till the end of the season. So now that college football is out of the way, they're going to have some NFL Saturday games.
Yep, that's right.
But, guys, you talking about the Steelers against the Patriots last night. It is definitely hard to figure how they could beat Baltimore and Cleveland and some of the teams they beat. But then you lose back-to-back to Arizona and the Patriots at home. And with that win, do you realize now Bill Belichick is 10-3 against Mike Tomlin in his career. And from what I understand, I was talking to Johnny Gregg this morning. They said the fans in Pittsburgh are not happy about it, and they're calling for his head.
For whose head?
Mike Tomlin's. That's what John Burton said.
So now it's Mike Tomlin.
I agree with you guys. I'd be insane to do that. But I also found out this morning is next year is the last year of Mike Tomlin's contract. And, of course, people took – and I don't think he is going to get fired because I think Manole, they didn't fire him. He resigned. I don't know if it's mutual or whatever. But I did hear that Bill Cowher wanted more money, but the Steelers didn't want to pay him, so he quit. And, like I said, next year is the last year of Tomlin's contract. It is going to be interesting to see what happens. But if he does get fired, I think he would get snapped up in a minute. But it also wouldn't surprise me, guys, if a week from tomorrow the Steelers play in Indianapolis against the Colts in a Saturday game a week from tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers beat them. That's kind of a lot of times their MO, but we'll see what happens. And also, you probably heard Bill Belichick's supposed to be on College Game Day tomorrow since the game's in Parksboro. I guess doing the picks.
Is that right?
Like that tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like he's seen, but okay.
Well, that tells you you can tell he's not winning anymore because when he's doing stuff like that, yep.
Yeah, but that's what I heard. He's going to be on College Game Day tomorrow. So
well,
guys,
that'll be riveting.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Right. A couple of other games I'll get off. Another interesting game, of course, is the Buffalo-Kansas City game. I think it's desperation for both teams. Buffalo probably needs to win more than the Chiefs, but if the Chiefs still want to have a shot at home field advantage, they need to win that game because it is a big game for both teams. And Buffalo, after this, of course, plays the Cowboys next week. So, that they have to be in playoff mode right now. And lastly, the Sunday night game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Guys, I think it's going to be a great game. Would it surprise me if Philadelphia won? No, it wouldn't, because if they win, they're going to win the division. But even if Dallas wins, again, with their schedule they've got upcoming, I just don't see them winning the division. I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens, guys. But I'm just looking forward to football this weekend. Guys, y'all take care. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric. You too.
Thank you, Eric.
Let me address a couple things.
Sure.
Am I surprised a rabid fan base like the Steelers are now that Canada's out of there and they realize, oh, wait a minute, our offense still looks like manure without Matt Canada. Interesting. So we gotta burn somebody else. So I guess it's now Mike Tomlin. It's just like, how silly do you have to be, honestly, to put the blame on Mike Tomlin?
They are spoiled.
Well, no duh. But
they are spoiled, rotten, and I got zero time for the tears of the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Just got none. No sympathy for them. No. And same thing with the Patriot fans too.
Right. Nobody wants
no sympathy for them whatsoever.
No.
They whatever happens to them happens to them. They can dry their tears with the Super Bowl banners. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I ain't worried about it. It's whatever so they haven't had a losing season in 15 years. Okay. And you want to get rid of the people who were doing that for you? Fine. Come on back to the 3-14 side if you think it's so good over there. Come on back. We're doing fine over here.
Do I think there's times when things run its course? Sure. I believe that. Do I think that just because they're right now, by the way, they're still above 500. They're not 1-11.
No.
They're above 500. Even though they've had two really, really bad losses at home.
They did.
2 weeks in a row.
They did.
Mike Tomlin has kept it at a level that is so incredibly hard in the NFL. There are a couple of coaches that come to mind, and they're in the same division. John Harbaugh, who, by the way, has dealt with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries. John Harbaugh keeps them, and he's been there just shy of what Mike Tomlin.
Pretty close.
Pittsburgh. I think Harbaugh's in his 14th year, something like that. 15th year. He's been there a long time.
Long time.
Like Tomlin. Those two guys in a league that is set up to be everybody to be mediocre. That's the way it's set up.
Yep.
Everybody to be average.
Ebbs and flows.
They have kept their ship and their head above water basically the whole time, which is so incredibly hard to do.
Crazy.
In the NFL. And I just think this whole notion, while sometimes it's warranted, sometimes just I love how easy it is for everybody just to fire people. You know, it's so easy to do on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, social media, sports talk radio. It's so easy to fire people. It is. And sometimes it's warranted. But just to always think because things aren't right, you got to fire people, it's just ridiculous whenever they've earned the right. They've earned the grace period. They've earned whatever they should be getting, a leash.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be long. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin have earned that.
Pretty long leash.
Now, what I hate is people who crown people and think they're the GOAT, and it's when it's too soon. It's like, yeah, well, how about we let this play out? Because, oh, by the way, as we're talking about it, it's hard to do.
It's very hard.
It's hard to sustain it.
Really hard.
So before we all jump and give people, these stupid universities and ADs and just jump to give guys, an extension when they got 3 and 4 more years left on the contract, it's just ridiculous. Things change. Like, who's kidding who? It's so hard to maintain. It's so hard to sustain, especially in today's landscape where everybody's getting paid. And so good for them, you're getting paid. But with that comes incredible amounts of pressure, right?
Yeah.
Incredible amounts of pressure. Because everybody thinks that, you're getting well compensated, so you should have it at a high level at all times. Well, everybody can't keep it at a high level, okay? Just to think that Mike Tomlin or fill-in-the-blank coach is fixing the Pittsburgh Steelers right now is absurd. You're a moron if you think anybody could go in there and make it look different, because it can't. Because their quarterbacks stink, okay? They stink. They're awful. You cannot win at a high level with average to below average, poopy quarterbacks. And that's what they have. Look, Mitch Trubisky is a bust, period. He's a bust. If it was going to change, it would have changed by now. It hasn't. He looks the same. He's crap, okay? I'm not mad at him. He's not a bad human being. It just means he's not going to live up to the number 2 pick overall, period. He's not. It's not his fault, but he's going to get well compensated. He's already been well compensated, and he's going to have to live with that label because he's going to get labeled a bust. Sorry, it's part of it. He's just not very good. It's not his fault. Chicago Bears took him number 2 overall. It was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
He's not a very good quarterback.
He's overdrafted.
Guess what?
Happens.
It's not going to change, and it has happened, and it will continue to happen.
It'll happen next year.
Yes. Okay? It's not going to. So you're a moron if you want to get rid of Mike Tomlin. Okay? It's not your problem. Your problem is not your coach. Your problem is you've got a pile of manure in the quarterback room. That's your problem in Pittsburgh.
Mike Tomlin's 170 and 99. Now, I didn't say 170. I mean 170 wins and 99 losses
in the NFL
as a head coach in the National Football League. 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl loss, 10 playoff seasons. 10 playoff seasons in 17 years. He has not won a playoff game since all the way back in 2016. All the way back in 2016.
Is that right?
Yeah, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016.
I didn't realize it'd been that long.
It's been that long considering the Miami Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since 1999. So just put that in perspective there for just a half a second.
That's almost the existence of the Titans and the Predators in
yes,
this market.
The Miami Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since the late 90s. And now we're talking about Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. So this is the perspective I'm talking about when I say we're spoiled. Because when you've been winning that much and you can find things like this to complain about, you've been having a legacy of excellence for a very long time. And I've been through this. I've talked to Alabama fans. Trust me. I told you, seriously, there was an Alabama fan down there in Alabama when the Cubs won the World Series who seriously, they were serious as a heart attack, compared Alabama's national championship drought from 1992 to 2009 as the same as the Cubs' 108-year World Series drought. Serious. They were serious about it. Very serious about it. They're Yankee fans right now who are sick because their team hasn't won the World Series in, 20 years. How long has it been? 20 years. Meanwhile, fans like yourself have been waiting your whole life. These are spoiled fans, okay? And I understand everybody wants their team to win. I get it. Everybody wants their team to win. But you can't win all the time every doggone year. You can't own the league. So if the Steelers fans are upset and they want to get rid of the guy who's won 170 games and lost 99 and has been to 10 playoff appearances in 17 years and has never had a losing season, I can promise you this. You'll do worse before you can do better. I don't know who you're going to hire, but whoever you're going to hire, the percentages suggest that you're going to find a worse head coach than you find a better one. So, you can go take your chances with whatever hot shot you can go get from wherever you want to go get them. You can go get Matt Rule. You can see how that worked out. You can go find another Matt Rule out of the college ranks. You can hire an offensive, coordinator from wherever. You can take your shot. Go for it. Is it going to be Mike Tomlin? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to reproduce. And by the way, John Harbaugh, has been as good. He's had 2 losing seasons in 17 years in Baltimore, 2.
They've had a lot of, by the way.
Also won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And he hasn't had the franchise quarterback till Lamar Jackson, who was before.
No.
I mean, he had Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco.
And Flacco was fine.
And I understand the people in Pittsburgh are saying, well, that was Ben Roethlisberger who did all of that, not Mike Tomlin. Well, there are plenty of Hall of Fame quarterbacks who've had losing seasons. Plenty. So don't do that. Don't do that. There are plenty of guys in Canton who've had losing seasons.
Yeah. Yes. And just because you have the quarterback doesn't mean squat.
No. Doesn't mean you can put it all together.
Brandon Staley.
Yeah. Well, you can ask Phillip Rivers how that goes.
Right. Just IEC the Chargers franchise.
Phillip Rivers was a Hall of Fame quarterback with a Hall of Fame running back behind him. And LaDainian Tomlinson, 0 Super Bowls.
How many Super Bowls?
0 trips to the Super Bowl.
How many Super Bowls did Andrew Luck win?
0. No, not just 0 Super Bowl wins, 0 trips.
Was he a elite franchise quarterback?
He was.
Yeah. They won no Super Bowls?
They got to an AFC title game.
Oh, I thought it guarantees a Super Bowl.
They got to an AFC title game, the closest you got. You're spoiled. Just count. Take the L, Pittsburgh. Just take the L. Take the top 10 draft pick and move on. But now fire Mike Tomlin and then do what? What you gonna do? Then what? You gonna hire Chuck Noll? No, I think he's unavailable. Wow.
You went Chuck Noll before Bill Cowher.
Yeah, but apparently they want 4 Super Bowls again. So I'm just saying, you want Chuck Noll and Terry Bradshaw to run it back? I mean, guys.
I hope not.
Guys, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, the Yankees are going to get, Derek Jeter to play shortstop another year. Stop it.
All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back. McFarland's 6-pack of picks. We'll do that next.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Grainger presents The Ones Who Get It Done. As the college football season progresses, the excitement continues to grow with packed stadiums and cheering crowds. Each team still dreams of winning the college football national championship, but come January 1st, only 4 teams will remain in contention. The question is, will Georgia be one of the 4, and can they pull off another championship for a three-peat? Only time will tell. The Ones Who Get It Done has been sponsored by Grainger. Call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So, call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The TSU Tigers men's basketball team with fifth-year coach Penny Collins are coming off a top 3 OVC finish last season and looking for much more this season. Led by preseason all-conference guards Marcus Fitzgerald and Kenyon Hodges, the Tigers face an impressive non-conference schedule that includes Oregon, Lipscomb, Austin Peay, Indiana State, and Liberty, and tip-off league play on December 28th at Gentry Center versus UT Martin. Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join longtime TSU broadcaster Albert Dawson on all of the games this season right here on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
(615-844-5600). Let's get this out of the way quick because I'm in a tailspin. Man, I don't like to talk about it when I'm not winning. I'm a sore loser. And I'm going the wrong way. 2 weeks in a row after being on fire for a good while, I am not on fire anymore. I'm burning down. 1-5 again.
Oh, man.
2 weeks in a row, 1-5.
Okay.
I took Oregon, loser. Georgia, loser. Louisville, loser. Titans, loser. Eagles, loser. The only winner I had was the Texans over the Broncos.
Okay.
So that was a big old you.
Yeah.
2-4.
Yeah.
For you?
Jeez.
That's a really bad week for you.
Jeez.
Georgia, loser.
Yeah.
Titans, loser.
Yeah.
Eagles, loser.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos, loser.
Yeah, that's true.
Florida State, Washington, winners.
Man.
So you are still a hefty 40-32 on the season. I have now dipped below 500 for the first time all year long.
Mercy.
34-38.
Well.
So, yeah.
It giveth and it taketh away.
It's been taken away.
Yeah.
From me.
Yeah.
Here, last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, I've been 1-5, 1-5, 3-3, 2-4. That's a tailspin.
Yeah.
After some, let's see, did I have a 6-0 week?
I had one, but
you had one. I had some. I think a couple 5-1s.
I had the 6-0 week when I was in Europe. But again, I had the unfair advantage. I was ahead in time zone, so I was able to peek.
You were able to see the games before me.
I was able to peek ahead.
See the final.
Because I was ahead in time zone.
So you knew.
Yeah, I was 7 hours ahead. Yeah, so what have we got here?
So we're gonna do, obviously there's no college football, but we are gonna do one
there's one, but
college football theme.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna do Army Navy.
We're not gonna do Army, okay.
I've done it in the past.
It's an over-under that we could probably do.
Yeah, and I've had fun with like the passing yards and stuff or rushing yards, but we're just gonna stay away.
All right then.
So just because I think it's intriguing, who wins the Heisman?
Oh.
4 are going to New York City.
Okay.
Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr., and Daniels, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
LSU. Who wins?
It's somewhere between Daniels and Nix.
I have not looked at the odds recently. I haven't looked in days, so I don't even know the odds. I don't even know who's favored. I think Daniels
I think Daniels is favored. Favored at this point. That's where in my mind I'm somewhere between Daniels and Nix. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Daniels, based on nothing more than where he plays, in the conference he plays. That's it. Not because I think he's better, just conference.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I believe Marvin Harrison Jr. should win it.
Yes,
I believe he deserves to win it. He is the best receiver in the country.
He is.
And in my opinion, it's not even close.
Yes.
He is a dynamic player. He could play right now and start for the Titans and be their number 2 option behind DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
He's that good.
Because he's not that good. But yeah.
He's that good. He's not going to win because they're not going to give it to anybody outside of a quarterback.
No.
Okay? And I hate it. It's a travesty.
Yep.
So I'm just putting that on the record. Marvin Harrison Jr. should win it. He's not going to. I kind of feel like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. are going to kind of cancel each other out. Same conference. They're a razor's edge, those two. I'd probably even lean a little bit more toward Penix.
Really?
Personally.
Okay. All right.
But I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels as well.
I just think the either the SEC thing will work for him or against him. And I don't know which way it will roll with that. But it will work for him or against him. And I just wanted to check. It's been a little while here. Wide receiver Devontae Smith was the last wide receiver in 2020. He won it in 2020.
Okay, I didn't realize it'd been that soon. Now that you said it, I do remember Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith won it in 2020. Before then, the last non-quarterback to win was Derrick Henry in 2015.
Yep. So that's twice in a decade. So
yes, it's been twice from 2010 going forward. It's been 2.
Okay,
it
won't be 3 in a decade.
Everybody else's quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right, Colts at Bengals. Bengals are favored by 1.5.
Colts at Bengals.
Colts at Bengals. This is a big one. Bengals favored by 1.5.
Where's the game?
At Cincy.
At Cincinnati. Give me the Bengals. Boy, the Colts are really not that. Give me the Bengals. Yeah. Never thought I would say that.
I think this is what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I think Jake Browning, everybody's really excited now all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Very excited. This is what we're talking about. And then the more, we didn't know anything about it. There's no film. There's no tape.
Nope.
Been sitting there holding a clipboard. And I think this is a prime example of how hard it is in the NFL to sustain.
Yeah.
How hard it is to keep coming back week after week and looking a certain level. I think he dips. Everybody's excited. Everybody's talking about him right now. I'm going to go Colts. And they've been, by the way, Colts have been very successful on the road this year.
They have.
Very successful. So I'm going to go Colts.
All right.
Jags in Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns are favored by 2.5.
Well, we don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to do.
Yep. That's why the Browns are favored by 2.5, because the uncertainty of Trevor Lawrence.
The uncertainty of Trevor Lawrence. Give me Cleveland. Give me Believeland.
I'm going to go Jags.
Hmm.
Bills at the Chiefs. Chiefs by 1.5.
Give me the Chiefs. Chiefs all the time.
I'll take the Chiefs too. Eagles at Cowboys. Cowboys by 3.5.
Yeah, Eagles. Eagles.
Just because I knew you would do that, I'll go Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm just not doing it with the Cowboys.
Finally, Titans at Dolphins. Dolphins by 13.5.
Jeez.
13.5.
Jeez. Give me the Titans to cover, and not to win, but I think they'll be closer than that, right?
I've been picking the Titans and you every week.
It's been bad. It's not been good.
Actually, the last time I picked against them was the Jags, and that won. And you took the Titans. So I'm going to go Dolphins.
I'll go with the Titans. Gosh, it's just so disrespectful.
All right, we'll take our final break, come back, wrap up the show, wrap up the week next.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. It's starleasing.com to learn more.
In Tennessee, 967,430 people struggle with hunger, and 295,570 of them are children. That's 1 in 7 who struggle with hunger, and 1 in 5 are children. People who are hungry are not necessarily living on the streets. They may be in your child's classroom, in your neighborhood, or just down the street. In addition, many of these people live in food deserts, which are areas more than 10 miles from the nearest grocery store. Often there are limited resources to get food, and the only option is fast food or convenience markets. While processed food may help with hunger pangs, it provides little to no nutrition. What began in 2008 as a dream to buy land, grow food, and give it away has recently developed into a way to serve and impact more individuals in the community. God has blessed our mission to be a healthy food source to those in need so much, By Faith Farm had to create a nonprofit to continue meeting the need in the community on a larger scale. Visit ByFaithFarm.com to get involved. That's ByFaithFarm.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only-CPR and become a lifesaver today.
The Jim Rome Show.
I get a lot of vacation. I understand that. However, I don't take a lot of sick days. These things are not one and the same. That was not like I worked 8 straight days or I worked Super Bowl Sunday. I think I'll give myself a day off. I earned it. Hey, and by the way, I could because I have those days. I pride myself in not taking sick days. I hate that. We usually grind through it. But honestly, it was the right thing. In that case, it was the right thing.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville's Sports Radio.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Titans have made it official. Not that we didn't know, but they've at least made it official. Punter Ryan Stonehouse has been placed on IR. So his season is over.
Yeah.
But like I said, we
knew that. He had surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. But they had not made it official. They've made it official. Linebacker Joe Jones also placed on IR. And a lot of you are going, who's Joe Jones? Well, he's a linebacker for the Titans.
Yes.
Who's on injured reserve now.
Yes.
So today's practice report is out, Justin.
Okay.
Here are the did not practices. Christian Fulton, dealing with a hamstring. Big Jeff, dealing with the knee. Obviously, Stonehouse and Joe Jones didn't practice, but I just told you why.
Sure.
Josh Wiley, knee. Those are the did not practice guys today. Remember, now it's Friday. This is not your typical Friday. Tomorrow, right, because they're playing on Monday night. So there is a practice day tomorrow. Let's see. Full participants today were Danico Autry, Aaron Brewer, and Luke Gifford after being limited yesterday. Also, DeAndre Hopkins, full participant today after being limited yesterday. And Daniel Brunskill, who was not even listed yesterday, limited today. So I don't know what that means. On the Dolphins side of things, Devon Shane is dealing with the ribs, but he was a full participant. Christian Wilkins, who is a beast, was limited today. He's dealing with a groin. Raheem Mostert, limited, dealing with a knee. By the way, do you know Kendall Lamb and David Long? David Long not even on the injury report. Kendall Lamb, limited today with a back injury.
Yeah.
Kendall Lamb and David Long have had good seasons with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
David Long leads them in tackles.
How about that?
And has played all year.
How about that? Something in the water.
Just saying.
Something in the water. Check the pipes.
That's going to do it for our show. Enjoy your weekend. If you've hired Damon to be your DJ, enjoy that. Have a great time. We'll talk to you Monday at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
Sports Radio. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
All right, and away we go. Our number 3 of our radio program on this Football Friday. It is the Zach Gelb Show on CBS Sports Radio. Ryan Horvat from BetMGM tonight. Going to stop by 20 minutes from now. We'll do a little head-to-head NFL picks. 3 games in the NFL this weekend. 3 spreads. We got you covered. But first up, we do this segment every Monday and Friday on the show. Onside, offside. Santa's got a few questions for me. I got a few answers for me. And Carlos with the K, my main man, Carlos Ortiz. Hit it!
Zach's taking on the most polarizing issues in sports. Which side of the line of scrimmage will he end up on? Offside. Defense number 69. It's onside, offside.